Jasmine over here reporting to you about how the studies of sleep affect physical activity.
Yes, thank you, Jasmine. Hello, everyone. I'm Cecilia. We have gathered data from surveys that were randomly sampled to 80 students from 9 to 12th grade.
Hey guys, I'm Alexis Jaramillo. So for our first question, we asked, how many hours of sleep do you get per week?
So for our first graph, we did box and whisker. The minimum hours of sleep was 20. The first quartile was 35 hours. The median was 42 hours. The third quartile was 52 hours. And the maximum hours of sleep per week was 76.
Jasmine, back to you.
Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jaramillo. Our second question was, on average, how many hours of physical activity do you perform per week? And we used a histogram and scatter plot to represent our data. The minimum is 20 and the max is 28 hours. Ready?
Yes.
The second bar, the minimum is 28 and the max is 36 hours. The third, the minimum is 36 and the maximum is 44 hours.
Okay.
The fourth, the minimum is 44 and the maximum is 52 hours. Fifth, the minimum is 52 and the maximum is 6. The sixth, the minimum is 60 and the max is 68. On the seventh, the minimum is 68 and the maximum is 76. And finally, the eighth, the minimum is 76 and the maximum is 84. Ready? For our scatter plot, we decided to do the hours of physical activity versus the hours of sleep. Now back to Cecilia.
Ready? The third question we asked to the students was, what physical activity do you do? And we gave to the students the option of soccer, baseball, basketball, and other. We used the Venn diagram to represent our data. Out of 80 students, 15 play only soccer, 15 play only baseball, 10 play both soccer and basketball, 9 play both baseball and basketball, and 2 play all 3, and 9 choose other.
For our pie chart, we asked the students what their gender was, and 57% said male and 43% said female.
The fifth question we asked the students was their height and age. We used the comparative box and whisker. The blue represents the height and the minimum was 59 inches.
Go.
The first quartile was 64 inches. The medium was 67 inches. The third quartile was 70 inches. And the maximum was 76 inches. Okay. The red represents the age and the minimum was 14. The first quartile was 15. The medium was 16. The third quartile was 17. And the maximum was 19 years old.
Lastly, our bar graph was based on the grades the students. 19 students are in 9th grade, 21 are in 10th grade, 30 are in 11th grade, and 10 are in 12th grade.
So now I bet you're wondering, after all this data, how exactly does sleep affect physical activity? So we said that the more hours of sleep you get, the more hours of physical activity you are to perform.